Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be talking about a huge link between the World Bank and Stellar. So in a fairly recent paper published by the World Bank entitled Central Bank Digital Currency for Cross-Border Payments, the paper detailed how CBDCs could be a means of improving cross-border payments around the world. And the paper mentioned how central banks are looking to implement CBDCs, including the likes of the Bank of Canada, the Bank of England and the Federal Reserve. So as well as the paper detailing how central banks may look to implement CBDCs, the paper also mentioned how stablecoins could also improve cross-border payments around the world. So the paper also detailed how stablecoins could be a means of improving cross-border payments, and how stablecoins could act in a similar fashion to cryptocurrencies in cases surrounding improving cross-border payments. However, unlike cryptocurrencies, stablecoins will be backed by an underlying asset, be it a fiat currency or an asset including gold. And this will mean that such stablecoins won't be exposed to the volatility associated with cryptocurrencies when value is sent cross borders. So with stablecoins being backed by an underlying asset, and with the stablecoin being able to validate such transactions rapidly, this could be a means of overcoming limitations associated with legacy payment infrastructure, including the likes of SWIFT. So the paper also mentioned how cryptos could be a means of enabling cross-border payments around the world, where the paper gave examples of XLM and XRP as cryptos which are actively used for cross-border payments at the moment. So the paper mentioned how XLM is primarily used for cross-border payment financial services to end users and the unbanked. So the main utility surrounding XRP and the Stellar network sees the network providing support to the millions of unbanked around the world, where despite individuals not having a bank account, if they simply have a mobile phone, they could have access to the Stellar network, and this will aid in improving the sending of funds around the world through Stellar, and such transactions will be actively validated through XLM. So the World Bank also detailed how Stellar enables cross-border payments, where the Stellar network acts as an anchor which will enable the interconversion of fiat currency. So when fiat currency is directly interconverted, these actions are directly validated through XLM. So this sees XLM acting as a bridge when fiat currencies are directly interconverted and move cross borders through Stellar. So the paper also detailed how the Stellar network enables the bridging between currencies, where the Stellar decentralized exchange allows for the trading between domestic fiat currencies through XLM. So the decentralized exchange is borderless and is not subject to any forms of control, which involves the interconversion of given currencies, be it fiat or crypto, including XLM. So the World Bank may have highlighted the Stellar network over other DLT networks in cases surrounding its usage in cross-border payments, namely due to the underlying qualities the network provides, especially the network's high scalability, high finality rates, and the low costs associated with the usage of the Stellar network, be it for cross-border payments or general dApp developments. So these key characteristics put Stellar ahead over legacy payment infrastructure, including the likes of SWIFT, especially in cases surrounding cross-border payments, which have been a key sticking point, especially in cases surrounding the sending of remittances cross borders. And as mentioned by the World Bank, the Stellar network prioritizes in providing support to the unbanked around the world, where there's multiple millions of individuals around the world who don't have access to a bank account, but with the accessibility of electronic devices, including mobile phones, such individuals will have the potential to gain exposure to networks, be it the Stellar network or other DLTs, and this will aid in improving cross-border payments to such individuals and potentially between individuals within a nation without the need for a bank account. So the active usage of the Stellar network will lead to improvements in the inclusivity of financial actions which occur within a nation or cross borders. So this could lead to improvements in individuals having exposure to more funds, and their quality of life may potentially improve over time. So with the benefits attached to the Stellar network, especially in cases surrounding cross-border payments, as highlighted by the World Bank, has led to a number of organisations partnering with Stellar to improve cross-border payments, and Stellar has also been implemented into remittance payment corridors around the world. So one such example includes Stellar's partnership with IBM, where Stellar and IBM have partnered in developing WorldWire, which sees the provision of the Stellar network in providing cross-border payments to a number of banks around the world, including banks based in the Philippines, Brazil, and South Korea. So this partnership could be quite significant for Stellar, especially when looking at the value of remittances that pass into Brazil alone, where over $3.2 billion worth of remittances passed into Brazil in 2019. However, as previously mentioned, there's a number of limitations connected to legacy payment infrastructure, including the likes of SWIFT and Western Union when it comes to sending funds cross borders. So with the usage of the Stellar network and the benefits attached to the offering, these significant funds could be sent through Stellar at very low costs and at higher finality rates and at scalable levels. And this will be beneficial not just for the recipient of the remittance, but also for the payer, as payers will be exposed to less transaction fees when they choose to send funds through Stellar. And again, this will be beneficial for a payee, as these individuals will gain greater funds and their quality of life may potentially improve over time. So as well as Stellar's involvement in cross-border payments with IBM, Stellar is also working with the payment provider Tala in improving cross-border payments, where Tala is set to directly use the USDC stablecoin, which is directly based on the Stellar network, to improve cross-border payments, which again is aimed to improve the sending of funds to the unbanked around the world. And this partnership is coupled with Tala also working in conjunction with Visa, where this partnership sees individuals that sign up to Tala being able to gain access and exposure to debit cards provided by Visa. So with the potential for a number of individuals using Tala's offerings for cross-border payments, this will be greatly beneficial for the Stellar network, as Tala directly uses the Stellar network to enable cross-border payments. So with more individuals using Tala, this will lead to increases in the overall utility of the Stellar network. And as more funds pass through Stellar to recipients around the world cross-border, this will lead to increases in the active demand for XLM, which will be used to validate of the sending of such funds. And this will be beneficial for XLM token holders, as this could see sizable increases to the price of XLM, especially as time progresses and the overall utility of the Stellar network increases over time, be it through Tala or through the worldwide system that IBM is set to roll out on the Stellar network. So with the likes of the World Bank directly mentioning the benefits Stellar provides, especially in cases surrounding cross-border payments, and with Stellar's active usage by a number of entities around the world, be it IBM or Tala surrounding cross-border payments and improving financial exposure to the unbanked around the world. And this is all coupled with Stellar also being set to be used by the likes of SWIFT and the American banking sector when the ISO 20022 standard is set to be rolled out and be directly used by both bodies. So XLM is an ISO 20022 compliant crypto, and this will lead to the likes of SWIFT directly using Stellar and XLM to enable cross-border payments to be achieved a lot faster compared to its legacy methods. So again, Stellar could become a key component of cross-border payments in multiple years to come. What are your thoughts on Stellar? Are you bullish on the World Bank mentioning Stellar? Let us know your views in the comments below. Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe and click on the notification bell. Let us know your views in the comments below. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next video.